Hello and welcome to Mitchi ASMR. Today I have another reading for you. It's a sad but one of my favorite books and one of my first books I actually read in full, besides Harry Potter. So, the book I am talking about is this one. The name is If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. And as you can see, it's about a cat. But before I talk any longer, I'm going to start reading. A short introduction. If cats disappeared from the world, how would the world change? And how would my life change? And if I disappeared from the world, well, I suppose nothing would change at all. Things would probably just go on day after day, same as usual. Okay, so you're probably thinking, this is all a bit silly, but please believe me. What I'm about to tell you happened over the past 7 days. Now, that's what you call a weird week. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to die soon. So how did all this happen? My letter will explain everything. So, it will probably be a long letter, but I'd like you to bear with me till the end, because this will be my first and my last letter to you. It's also my will and testament. Monday, the devil makes his appearance. I didn't even have 10 things I wanted to do before I die. In a movie I saw once, the heroine is about to die, so makes a list of 10 things she wants to do before she goes. What a lot of crap. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't be so harsh, but really, what even goes on a list like that? A load of rubbish, probably. But how can you say that? You might ask. Okay, look, I don't know, but anyway, I tried it and it was just embarrassing. It all started 7 days ago. I had this cold I just couldn't shake, but I kept going to work every day anyway, delivering the mail. I had a slight fever, which wouldn't shift, and the right side of my head ached. I was barely keeping it together with the help of some over-the-counter drugs. I hate going to the doctor. But after 2 weeks of this, I caved and went. I just wasn't getting better. Then I found out it wasn't a cold. It was, in fact, a brain tumor. Grade 4. Anyway, that's what the doctor told me. He also told me I had only 6 months to live, tops. I'd be lucky if I made it another week. Then he explained my options. Chemotherapy anti-cancer drugs, palliative care, but I wasn't listening. When I was little, I used to go swimming. I jumped into the cold blue water with a splash, and then sink slowly. Do a proper warm-up before you jump in. It was my mother's voice, but underwater it was muffled and hard to hear. For some reason, this is just popped into my head. This strange, noisy memory. Something I completely forgotten about until now. Finally, the appointment ended. The doctor's words were still hanging in the air as I dropped my bag on the floor and staggered out of the examining room. I ignored the doctor's shouts, calling for me to stop, and ran out of the hospital screaming. I ran and ran, slamming into the people I passed, falling over, rolling on the ground and getting up again, throwing my limbs about wildly until I reached the foot of a bridge, where I found I could no longer move, and groveling on my hands and knees, let out a sob. Well, no, that's a lie. That's not quite how it happened. The fact is, people tend to be surprisingly calm when they hear news like this. When I found out, the first thing that occurred to me was that I was only one stamp away from getting a free massage on my loyalty card. And I shouldn't have bothered buying so much toilet paper and detergent. It was the little things which came to my mind. But finally, it hit me. A kind of bottomless sadness. I was only 30. Okay, so that would mean I'd have lived longer than Hendrix and Busquet. But somehow it felt like I had a lot of unfinished business. There must be something, I don't know what, but something on this planet that only I could do. But I didn't really dwell on any of this. Instead, I wandered in a daze until I reached the station. A couple of young men were playing acoustic guitar and singing. This life will someday have to end, so until that final day arrives, do what you want to do, do it, do all you can. That's how you face tomorrow. Idiots. Now, that's what you call a complete lack of imagination. Go ahead, just go and sing your lives away in front of this god-awful station. I was so mad I couldn't take it. It was too much, and I had no idea what to do. I took my time, getting back to the flat. I clattered up the stairs and opened the flimsy door to the cramped little space which I called home. It was then that the complete hopelessness of it all caught up with me. The outlook was bad. I mean, literally, I couldn't see a thing. I collapsed right there on the doorstep. When I woke up, I was still lying by the door. God knows how long I'd been there for. I could make out a black and white ball with grey patches in front of me. Then the ball made a sound finally I realized it was the cat. It has been me and him for 4 years now. He came closer and let out another. Meow. I took this as a sign. He was worried about me. But hey, I wasn't dead yet. So, I sat up. I still had a fever, and my head was killing me. I really was sick. Then suddenly, someone's chirping from across the room. So great to meet you. And there I was. I mean, it was me standing there, looking at me, or someone who looked just like me. The word doppelganger sprang to my mind. I read something about this sort of thing in a book ages ago. It's another you who appears when you're about to die. Had I finally gone crazy? Or was my time already up? My head was starting to spin, but I managed to keep it together. I decided to take a head on whatever I was standing before me. So, who are you? Who do you think? Is it the angel of death? Close. Close? I'm the devil. The devil? Yes, the devil. So, that's how, in a slightly surprising way, the devil appeared in my life. Have you ever seen the devil? Well, I have. And the real devil doesn't have a scary red face or a pointy tail. And there's definitely no pitchfork. The devil looks just like you. So the real doppelganger was the devil. It was a lot to take in. But what choice did I have? Plus, he seemed like a nice guy, so I decided that I just have to go along with it. Upon closer inspection, I realized that although the devil looked a lot like me, we couldn't be more different when it came to a sense of style. I tend to dress in basic black and white, for instance. I'll wear black slacks with a white shirt and black jumper. Boring, yes. But that's just who I am. The monotone guy I remember ages ago, my mother getting fed up. There you go again, buying the same kind of clothes as always. But I still find myself choosing the same thing whenever I went shopping. The devil, though, dressed shall we say, unconventionally. Brightly colored Hawaiian shirts with palm trees or pictures of classic American cars. And he was always in shorts. Always. Like someone permanently on holiday. And of course, you mustn't forget the sunglasses. Probably Ray-Bans. He was dressed as if it were still summer, despite the fact it was freezing out. Just as I was about to reach boiling point, the devil spoke. So, what are you going to do now? I mean, you haven't got a lot of time left. You know this life expectancy thing and all that. Oh, that, right. So, what are you going to do now? Oh, well, for the time being, maybe I'll think about that list of 10 things. You don't mean like that old movie, do you? Yeah, sort of, I guess. You mean you'd really do something as silly and corny as that. So, you think it's a bad movie? Well, I mean, sure, a lot of people do it, firmly declaring they'll do every last one. You know, those kind of people, right? It's kind of phase everyone goes through at least once, though it's not as if you get a second chance. Holding on to his sides, the devil let out a huge guffaw. Sorry. I just can't see the funny side. Right. Well, I guess you never know until you try, right? Let's draw up a quick list right now. So I pulled out a sheet of blank paper and wrote the title at the top of the page. 10 things I want to do before I die. I was feeling more depressed already. I'm going to die soon and I'm wasting my time writing lists. You've got to be kidding. As I wrote, I lost the plot. But somehow I managed to come up with a list. All the time avoiding the devil who was trying to peek over my shoulder. And forcibly removing the cat who, like all cats, thinks it's a good idea to sit on whatever you're trying to work on or read. Okay, here we go. Go skydiving, climb Mount Everest, speed along on the Autobahn in a Ferrari, go along to a traditional 3-day-long feast of gourmet Chinese food, take a ride on a Transformers bag, find love in these final days of our lives, go on a date with Princess Leia, turn a corner just in time to run into a beautiful woman carrying a cup of coffee and watch our passionate love affair unfold from there. Run into the girl I had a crush on in school while sheltering from the rain. Did I mention I'd like to fall in love just once? What is this? Oh, well, you know. Come on, you're not in school anymore. Frankly, I'm embarrassed for you. Sorry. Yeah, I know, I'm pathetic. I wrecked my brains, and this was the best I could come up with. Even the cat looked disgusted. He was keeping his distance. The devil came over and patted me on the shoulder, trying to cheer me up. There now. Okay, tell you what. Let's see about that skydiving trip. A quick visit to the ATM minutes of the airport we go. 2 hours later, I was on the jet plane at an altitude of 3,000 meters. Okay, ready? Geronimo. Cheerful as ever, the devil gave me a shove, and the next thing I knew, I was falling. And with this, we stop for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see if I'm getting along. If you like to hear more from this book, or you want to get it yourself, it's a great book. I'm gonna put it by side now. So I say thanks for watching or listening, and I wish you a good night.